Mahatma Gandhi once said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." And indeed, he was the embodiment of this very idea. Born in the coastal town of Porbandar in India in the year 1869, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was raised in a devout Hindu household. His parents, Karamchand and Putlibai, were his first teachers, instilling in him values of truth and nonviolence. The philosophies of Ahimsa, the principle of nonviolence, and Satya, the pursuit of truth, became the bedrock of his life. These early lessons, absorbed from his parents and his surroundings, laid the foundation for the man he was to become. They shaped his worldview, guiding his actions and shaping his destiny. This humble upbringing, rooted in simplicity, was the start of a remarkable journey, a journey of a young boy who was about to embark on a path that would shake the world. Education is the key to unlocking the world, a passport to freedom. This phrase resonates deeply when we examine Mahatma Gandhi's educational journey. Born in India, Gandhi's initial education was deeply rooted in traditional Indian culture. However, as he grew older, his thirst for knowledge led him to England to study law. In England, Gandhi found himself at odds with the Western lifestyle. The grandeur and opulence contrasted starkly with his humble upbringing. Nevertheless, he persevered, focusing on his studies and successfully earning his law degree. Returning to India as a young lawyer was not as triumphant as one might imagine. Gandhi faced numerous challenges in establishing his law practice. The cultural and societal norms had been evolving, and he struggled to find his footing amidst the changing landscape. Yet, little did he know that these struggles were merely stepping stones, leading him towards his destiny. A young lawyer, struggling in the world, was yet to discover his true calling. Sometimes it is the journey that teaches you a lot about your destination. A profound truth that perfectly encapsulates Mahatma Gandhi's transformative journey to South Africa. In the late 19th century, a young lawyer named Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi found himself traveling to South Africa, a country gripped by the harsh realities of racial discrimination. Amid the sprawling landscapes and bustling cities, he was set to work on a case that would change his life forever. Gandhi was not immune to the racial prejudice that was rampant in the country. He faced the harsh brunt of discrimination and was often treated as a second-class citizen because of his Indian heritage. He was thrown off a train for refusing to give up his seat in a first-class compartment to a white passenger, an incident that marked a turning point in his life. These experiences sparked a flame within him, a flame that would grow into a burning desire to fight for justice and equality. He began to question the societal norms and the unjust laws that perpetuated such discrimination. It was in South Africa, amidst this struggle, that Gandhi developed his philosophy of satyagraha, or truth force. This was not just a philosophy, but a way of life that advocated for nonviolent resistance as a means to achieve political and social progress. Gandhi believed that one could attain truth and justice through nonviolent means, and he put this belief into action by organizing civil rights campaigns in South Africa. These campaigns were built on the principles of nonviolence and civil disobedience, and they aimed to resist the oppressive laws that marginalized and discriminated against the Indian community. Gandhi's efforts led to significant changes, laying the groundwork for a broader fight for equality and justice in South Africa. The experiences and struggles that he faced in South Africa transformed Gandhi. The young lawyer who had arrived in South Africa found himself reborn as a civil rights activist, a champion of nonviolence, and a beacon of hope for millions. In the face of adversity, a lawyer was reborn as a civil rights activist. Let's continue this journey as we follow Gandhi's return to India, where his philosophy of satyagraha would be tested on a much larger scale. Home is where one starts from. This adage rung true for Mahatma Gandhi when he set foot on Indian soil in January of 1915, after 2 decades away. Upon his return, Gandhi, who had made a name for himself in South Africa, discovered a nation seething under British rule. His homeland was a far cry from the India he had left behind. Gandhi's return was not just a homecoming, but a call to action. He was not the same young man who had left for London and then South Africa. His experiences had shaped him into a new kind of leader, one who believed in the power of peaceful protest. This belief was to become the cornerstone of his involvement with the Indian National Congress, an organization that was at the forefront of the fight for Indian independence. Gandhi's involvement with the Congress began in a quiet way, much like the man himself. Rather than jumping headfirst into the political fray, he spent his initial years back in India observing, understanding, and connecting with the people. He traveled extensively, acquainting himself with the diverse cultures, traditions, and struggles that painted the complex canvas of India. As he delved deeper into the Indian situation, Gandhi began to realize that the path to freedom was through non-violent civil disobedience. He firmly believed that violence only bred more violence and that true victory was in winning over hearts, not battles. His philosophy of satyagraha, or insistence on truth, was born from this understanding. Gandhi's role in the fight for independence was pivotal. He led several nationwide campaigns against the unjust laws imposed by the British. From the non-cooperation movement to the Salt March, his non-violent protests shook the very foundations of the British Empire. An activist now stood as a leader, guiding his nation towards freedom. Gandhi's return to India marked the beginning of a journey that would not only change the course of his life, but the destiny of an entire nation. His unwavering belief in peaceful protest and his steadfast commitment to the cause of independence lit the torch of freedom that continues to guide India even today. There is no path to peace. Peace is the path. This encapsulates Gandhi's philosophy, his approach to resistance, and his lifelong mission. A mission that was marked by resilience, determination, and a steadfast commitment to nonviolence. Mahatma Gandhi's belief in the power of peace over violence was not merely theoretical. It was intensely practical, demonstrated through his actions, and imprinted on the annals of history. Let's explore some of these pivotal moments. In early 1930, Gandhi led one of his most iconic peaceful protests, the Dandi March. The march was a protest against the oppressive salt tax imposed by the British. Gandhi, along with thousands of Indians, embarked on a 240-mile journey on foot from Sabarmati Ashram to the coastal village of Dandi. Upon reaching the Arabian Sea, they made their own salt, defying British laws. It was a simple act, but one that resonated powerfully, marking a significant step in the fight for India's independence. Then came the Quit India movement in 1942. This was a decisive call for the British to leave India. Gandhi's powerful mantra, "Do or die," echoed through the nation, inspiring millions to join the struggle for freedom. Yet, even in this intense atmosphere, Gandhi's commitment to peaceful resistance never wavered. He urged his followers to ensure their actions remained nonviolent, emphasizing that violence would only lead to further suffering. Through these movements, Gandhi illustrated that peace was not a passive state, but an active force. A force that could challenge oppressive regimes, unite a diverse nation, and ultimately pave the way to freedom. These events reveal the transformative power of peace over violence. They show how Gandhi, a man armed only with a spinning wheel and a walking stick, managed to shake the foundations of an empire not with the force of arms, but with the power of peace. In a world torn by violence, a leader chose the path of peace. The future depends on what we do in the present. These insightful words were once spoken by Mahatma Gandhi, a man who dedicated his life to peace and non-violence. His journey, unfortunately, met a tragic end in the January of 1948 when he was assassinated. But the story of Gandhi does not end with his passing. The seeds of peace and non-violence he had sown continued to flourish, growing into a legacy that would span generations and borders. Gandhi's philosophy of satyagraha, or insistence on truth, has had a profound influence on numerous movements for civil rights and freedom across the globe. It was this philosophy that inspired leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. during the American Civil Rights Movement and Nelson Mandela in his fight against apartheid in South Africa. They both drew strength from Gandhi's teachings, using them as a beacon in their own quest for equality and justice. Gandhi's legacy doesn't just lie in these large-scale movements. It also lives in the hearts and minds of individuals around the world. His principles of simplicity, truth, and nonviolence serve as a guiding light for many, encouraging them to live in harmony with both themselves and the world around them. Gandhi's influence extends to the realms of education and literature as well. His teachings have been incorporated into numerous curriculums worldwide, while his life and philosophies have been the subject of countless books and films, further cementing his place in history. But perhaps the most important part of Gandhi's legacy is the enduring message of peace over violence. In a world that often seems to be teetering on the edge of chaos, Gandhi's words provide a reminder that change can be achieved through peaceful means. A man who gently shook the world, Gandhi's legacy of peace and nonviolence continues to resonate today. If you appreciate this journey through Gandhi's life, remember to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories.